Before you move to Long Island, there are a few things you need to understand, because this is one of those places that people either absolutely love or they get here and they realize it's not exactly what they expected. And I say that because on paper, Long Island sounds like the perfect setup. You're close to New York City, you get more space, you've got beaches, you've got suburban neighborhoods. It checks a lot of boxes, but there are a few realities that people don't always think about before they make the move. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through what you really need to know before moving to Long Island, the good, the bad, and the things that can catch you off guard if you are not prepared. So let's start, okay? Let's start with the first one, and this is probably the biggest surprise for most people. That's gonna be the cost of living, because Long Island is not cheap. And I'm not just talking about home prices, okay? I'm talking about everything, okay? Let's talk about housing, property taxes, utilities, everyday expenses. It all adds up. A lot of people move here thinking, I'm leaving the city, so it's gonna be way cheaper. And sometimes it is, especially if you're coming from Manhattan, right? I mean, let's face it, Manhattan is astronomically expensive, but for many people, the difference isn't as dramatic as they expect. And one of the biggest reasons for that is going to be property taxes. Okay, Long Island, depending on where you buy, taxes can be a significant part of your monthly cost. So when you're budgeting, you need to look at the full picture, not just the purchase price, because the next thing you need to understand is going to be commuting. All right, if you're working in New York City, your life is going to revolve around your commute. Okay, the Long Island Railroad is how most people get it to Manhattan that are living on the island, and depending on where you live, that commute can be anywhere from 30 minutes to over an hour. Now, some people get used to it, all right? You know, some people do it, they get used to it. Others, it wears on them over time. So this is something that you need to think about realistically. It's not just about the house, it's about your daily routine. Another thing that surprises people is how different Long Island actually is depending on where you are. This is not one uniform place. Nassau County feels very different from Suffolk County. The North Shore feels very different than the South Shore, and even towns that are close can feel completely different in terms of vibes. So some areas feel very close to the city, more dense, more fast-paced. Other areas feel much quieter and more suburban. So one of the biggest mistakes people make is not spending enough time understanding the different areas before choosing where to live. Now, let's talk about something people don't always think about. You're probably gonna need a car. In New York City, you can get around without one pretty easily. You got the subway, you can walk, everything's right there. But on Long Island, it's a different ball game. Things are much more spread out. And even though you do have trains and you do technically have buses, most day-to-day things are gonna require a car. Grocery stores, errands, appointments, you're gonna be driving. So if you're used to walking everywhere or relying on public transportation, that's gonna be a big lifestyle adjustment for you. Another thing is gonna be traffic. So Long Island is densely populated, and certain roads like the Long Island Expressway or the Sunrise Highway can get pretty busy, especially during peak hours. Now, people who live here learn how to work around it, but if you're coming from a less populated area, this is something that can definitely take some getting used to. Now, I don't want this video to sound negative, because there are a lot of reasons people choose Long Island. So let's talk about some of the positives, okay? Let's talk about some good things, because there are plenty of good things to talk about, and one of the biggest is gonna be space. Compared to the city, you're getting more room, which is something I personally love. You can have a house, you can have a yard, a driveway, things that are very hard to find in the Big Apple, New York City. And for a lot of people, that alone makes the move worth it. Another huge advantage is access to the water. Now, I love the beach. I love water. I love sand. It's just my thing. Long Island is surrounded by it. You've got beaches, you've got bays, you've got marinas. It's a completely different lifestyle compared to city. So you got places like Jones Beach, Robert Moses, which is one of my personal favorite beaches to go to, are major draws, especially in the summer. And then there's the overall life. So Long Island gives you a good balance. You're close enough to the city to take advantage of, everything that it offers, but you're not living in the middle of it. For many people, that's exactly what they're looking for. And that's me personally. So when I say don't move to Long Island until you watch this, what I really mean is this. Don't move here without understanding what you're getting into, because if you go in with the right expectations, Long Island can be an incredible place to live. But if you come in expecting something completely different, well, that's when people tend to run into some issues. So at the end of the day, it comes down to fit. Your budget, your commute, your lifestyle, and how those all line up with what Long Island offers. So if you are thinking about making the move and you want help figuring out which areas make the most sense for you, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Nigel. All of my information is down below. My phone number, my email, you can text me, you can reach out to me, and I'd be happy to help you with the move and help you to map it out. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.